What is going on? I'm zmot. We have got the Cryotanks loaded, as you can see by the fact they've got that blue tip to the end of... obviously, this is just me. I literally spent 30 seconds in Photoshop, added a blue tip, changed the back from orange to some sort of icy color. Let me know what you think. Should this be something Supercell should be doing for all Prototroops? I think it's yes. I mean, that's a simple change that would not take them a ton of time. Now, if you saw my sneak peek, you know these things are not super duper awesome. Uh-oh, my instant training has expired, so we're going to have to add that. Let's get rocking and rolling on that. Going to move over here. I always forget to put my own code in, even when I'm buying stuff in the store myself, so do consider throwing zmot in there if you can remember to do so. Okay, we're all set. Extra builder, instant training, I should say, has been added. That's what I've been trying to say. Probably brain not working. I mean, let's just do a quick look one more time. The way that they are now, the way I think they should probably be. Let me know in the comments what you think about that tiny change. We're going to get into Dr. T of the tropical variety. Now, this is going to be a massacre. These cryotanks cost so much gold, they cost so much GBE, and they are so useless. But part of the enjoyment of something being useless is using it anyways. Just like why people race terrible cars, why Red Bull does that thing where they try and make flying machines and drop them into harbors. We're going to do our best to take this down using the cryotanks, all 7 stages. Not entirely sure what troop combo we're going to use, but warriors are free, so we're going to start with warriors, and we'll move to something else later on, I'm sure. I tried to do a video yesterday, had very limited time, and then just gave up because I couldn't beat any bases using cryotanks. I was trying to use just cryotanks with bullet and smoke to the back, and as soon as you drop some cryotanks, your GBE just disappears because these things cost so darn much. And then I'd have like 4 cryotanks attacking a single sniper tower, and they were unable to even take down 1 sniper tower at times. So rather than get frustrated and waste my time, waste your time, I figured we'd wait until Dr. T came, and then we'd find a use somehow, some way for the cryotanks. Now, because I have instant training, and we're getting a bunch of free gold here, not super duper concerned about our gold at the moment, but this is going to be silly and ridiculous and take longer than using other troops. Now, if you have Scorchers are far better. They cost less GBE, they do more damage, they have more health, and all of the things. The only thing that cryotanks have more than Scorchers is range, and that is not a big deal because Scorchers get up close and punch you square in the face. So we're just going to see what the heck we can do with these things. Way back when Cryoneers were first introduced, I did a face swap and made Warriors, thinking that maybe Warriors would work well with Cryoneers. Turned out wasn't the case, but we're going to try the Warriors one more time. The Cryo Wars, the War... you get the idea. I'm not going to keep trying to flog this dead horse, but... nonetheless, warriors coming in, losing lots of them, so we're going to have to switch that up. Let's get rid of those warriors. Let's have a look at our tribal boosts. Let's see what we've got over here. We got Rifleman Life Leech. That would be useful. Man, I have not done anything. I have been so busy. I've noticed that my intel numbers are through the absolute floor, so apologies to my task force. Apologies to you guys and gals and everyone else in between out there in the YouTubes. Have not been putting up as much content as I would like, simply because busy. Now, Grenadiers work fairly all right with these things. Bombardiers, less so. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the extra health that Grenadiers have, but I've had far better luck using Grenadiers than using Bombardiers. We will mix 1 boat of Bombardiers in just for their extra damage because I like their extra damage, and we will keep going. Now, this is a max level account, or I guess near max. I'm not level 71, but I'm pretty darn close to it. So Low levels, if you are finding a use for these cryotanks, please do let me know. I am not seeing a heck of a lot of use for them, but you don't have cryoneers, and they do have fairly good range, so maybe some of you have found a good use for them. I kind of doubt it, but please, if you find a use for them, I would love to hear how you're using them and what you're doing, because if you don't have level 24 landing crafts, it's actually a bonus in some ways, simply because you can't half load a landing craft unless you want to like get technical and say you could kill one off, or you could not have instant training, but you get what I'm trying to say. Let's not dwell in technicalities. Let's keep going. Grenadiers doing all of the punching here. Same thing with our bombardiers. The cryoneers are being, not cryoneers, cryotanks. The cryotrons, the icetrons, whatever the heck you want to call them. I don't even like them enough to make them a nickname. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but typically I have to like enjoy using something to give it a nickname. You have to enjoy interacting with a person to give them a nickname, besides just giving them derogatory nicknames, that is, I suppose. You could call these things crap tanks for all I care, but they are bad, but there is a certain enjoyment in them being bad. And I'm not sure enjoyment is the right word, but there's a certain, maybe challenge. There's a certain challenge of using a terrible, terrible troop. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see if we can't get all 7 stages. The first 5, obviously, were quite simple. So now we're just going to see if we can get in and get these last 2 done using our GBE that we have left, which is not a lot, thanks to these things being very, very, very expensive. And let's get rid of these boom cannons so our grenadiers don't die. So far, we have lost a total of 0 troops, which is kind of amazing, kind of surprising, all at the same time. Just moving forward, shocking things, and letting our grenadiers do the good stuff. Now, these cryotanks are actually kind of being useful. They're slowing down some buildings, letting our troops get into range. But let's be honest, if we had cryoneers, they'd probably actually be dead by now. So maybe this is the sort of troop combo you want to use with them. I don't recommend using them ever, but if you really, really want to force the issue, by all means, do let me know what troop combo you're finding to be somewhat useful, because there is some use or some value in these things. It's just so low that it's not worth your time unless you have instant training, at which point we are going to take down stage 6 with 0 losses, just because these cryotanks are so darn strong. Picking up that free crystal, also getting those prototype tokens. Now, those prototype tokens essentially are useless, and I have a beef with that as well. I think when prototypes first came out, you could actually upgrade to more than 1 level. Like, if you do every single event throughout the week, you can only get your cryotanks from level 23 to level 24. You can't get them up to level 26, and you only get 0.1 tile increase when you upgrade these things. So with cryotanks, you don't need to update them. There's no benefit, basically. But with other prototype troops, there has been quite a bit of benefit. For example, the Shockeneers. The Shockeneers were, I think, my favorite prototype troop. I can't remember offhand what else we've had, but they're, if not the favorite, they are very, very close. So Shockeneers, huge success, as Borat would say. Somewhere in there, I've forgotten what Borat would say, but nonetheless, Shockeneers good, Engineers bad, Vampire Zookas, who knows? No one even saw them because they were so broken, so that puts them in the bad category for me. But prototype troops, I feel like, need some tweaking. Now, one of the benefits of these things is that we're going to see them again. They've already said we're going to get the Vampire Zuka troops someday, I assume in a year's time. I kind of assume they're setting up a cycle, sort of like the Mega Crab, where we get like 1 prototype, like we'll get the cryotanks every December. So my hopes and dreams are that when we get these things again, they won't suck. I think Supercell has shown that they're going to tweak the prototype troops as they get feedback from the community. So they've already tweaked the engineers, and we'll find out if they're good or not in like a year's time, I assume. But until then, we're stuck with these not so good prototype troops. We're going to start losing troops to that bottom boom cannon, hoping that our grenadiers and bombardiers, like grenadiers are actually throwing farther than our ice tanks are, by the looks of things. So the grenadiers are actually doing more useful stuff than the ice tanks, which seems like it shouldn't be the case. So at this point, we're just trying to keep our medics alive, trying to keep those last couple troops alive. Let's back off into here, see if we can't keep our grenadiers chucking at that base. We've got one bombardier left. That bombardier likely is going to be the difference between winning and losing. So if that bombardier back there dies, it's all over. But the grenadiers are going to keep farming some GBE for us, keep missing like crazy. Medics are doing their jobs. And surprisingly, we've got 2 cryotanks of the 4 we started with still alive. They don't have a lot of health, but our medics are doing a great job of keeping them alive. So we have managed, against all odds, to take down all 7 stages of Dr. T Tropical. Now, HQ 18, HQ 17 can take down all 7 stages, so bringing in cryotanks essentially has dropped us by 6 HQ levels or something ridiculous like that. Now, I almost misspoke and said engine rooms there. I have moved up to 7 engine rooms in warships. I should have a video on that in the next little bit, but I wanted to show the cryotanks one last time for those of you who missed my sneak peek over the weekend, just to share your frustrations, because these things are absolute and utter garbage. So do comment on the Boom Beach YouTube channel on their cryotank sneak peek. Let them know that you think they suck. If you think they suck, please be somewhat civil. Don't use curse words. Don't just let them know that you're not super happy, and maybe give some suggestions how they can be improved. My number one suggestion would be increase their damage or reduce their GBE or increase their beam length properly. Anyways, as always, I am zmot. Thank you for coming in. Do hit me up in the comments. Let me know how you're using these things. Sounds like I'm getting a bit of a stuffed up bit here. I managed to break my bike, literally snapped the frame in half over the weekend, so that was my Christmas. Now need to worry about getting either a new frame or warranty or something. So my Christmas is a little bit of a sad trombone because I've got ice tanks and a broken bike, and I know you guys are hearing this a lot. Seems like I'm breaking my bike a ton, and you know what? Most definitely am. Regardless, let's not dwell on that. Thanks for coming in. I'm zmot. Peace.